choose one of 3 houses to lead and to teach, and each one represents one of the ruling powers.
Was this not live before? Did it not go? I'm so sorry, guys. I've been talking to myself for like the past 5 minutes, apparently. What's up? So sorry. We didn't miss much, okay? We saw Sothis in the room so far. That's about it. She said Byleth. I don't know if that could be the correct pronunciation or just her version of it, but...
you know what? I'm a bit peckish. I'm going to run to the dining hall real quick and see what's going on.
So we're actually getting to see the layout of the monastery. This is interesting.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So here we are in the dining hall, and oh, hello, Dedu.
Investigating Ramire Village.
He's always so serious.
Someone's going to be able to tell what VA that is from that line. Guarantee it.
So there are multiple paths you can take in this game. The one we're playing right now is the Black Eagle path, and this is Edelgard. She's the house leader of the Black Eagles. She's an incredibly important character. I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played the game, obviously, but she has an incredibly compelling and deep backstory, just like all of the characters in this game. So I hope you look forward to getting to know her. But I'm going to jump here, and let's see. Petra looks like she really wants to get in on this meal. That's going to raise her motivation.
Is it laggy?
That giant happy face, so like, I'm ready. Let's go for this.
And then it's a professor and night mixer, so I'm also going to invite Manuela to the party.
Let me double check.
And we're going to chow down. And one of the really cool things about the Monastery activities is that not only is it really fun to interact with all of these characters like never before in a Fire Emblem game, everything you do has an effect on your game. You can see that dining with Petra increased her motivation. That's going to allow me to do more with her when we're in the tutoring phase. It also gave me more points so that my professor level went up. And having a higher professor level means that you have more activity points, more battles you can do, and you get more gold to spend on those all-important vulneraries.
It is, isn't it? God, come on.
Completed a quest along the way, so we're doing pretty well here.
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why this is dropping so many frames. Give me a second.
There's Raphael. I can't run by Raphael.
I have the same settings as yesterday.
I love this guy. He's a big sweetheart. He actually has a really tragic backstory, but you wouldn't know it by his great attitude and his wonderfully ill-fitting shirt.
Yeah, he's just ripping out of that shirt.
He can't help it. His muscles want to be free. And he's worried because he ate too much fish recently, and so now he's worried he'll never want to eat it again. These are really, really big problems in the academy phase of this game.
Is that better?
So right now, I'm going to go ahead and fast travel, and this is pretty big, so I'm very happy I can fast travel to the Cathedral here and do a couple of more activities. And as I said, not only is it great to be able to interact with your students and actually run around in a Fire Emblem world, run around these wonderful environments, but everything you do has a practical effect in battle. So all of the things, all of the time you're spending here in the monastery is going to go back and help you in battle, which is still the core of this game.
Yeah, cause like speaking about like just the environments, it's like there's so much detail. It's such an expansive world to explore, so you'll definitely spend a lot of time.
It's still detecting 56% drop frames. Are you kidding me?
This monastery world.
Come on.
Yeah, so this is the advice box, and it's where
Literally the
students will
same
anonymously,
settings as yesterday.
Ask you for advice, and you have to kind of, based on your knowledge of those students, guess what would be the answer that makes them happy, so you can get support points with them. And I correctly guessed that was Hilda.
Nicely done.
Yes, so I completed that quest, and Hilda's now very happy with me.
Oh, they give you items for that too.
All of the different monastery activities you can do, as well as battles, will increase your support points, which can unlock support conversations. Oh, I know.
Let's see if I got better.
Petra. Let's see.
Oh, you're right.
She misses the sea because that's where she's from, a foreign land, and she misses the ocean.
Nice
Yep.
guess. It's like you've played this before.
I might know these characters a little bit, but all these characters are so lovable, and unlocking support
Seems better.
conversations with them is really, really rewarding, especially since what's really dynamic about this game is that there's a 5-year jump at some point. So you get to see the support conversations that take place in the academy, and then there are also some that will only take place after the 5-year jump during the war phase of the game. So you get to see how the war and the events of the game have affected these students, which is really, really compelling. And that's how you get to know them enough to answer these advice box questions. And at that point, of course, after the 5-year jump, you can even pursue a romantic relationship with someone.
Ooh, look at that.
Just saying.
He is quite handsome.
He is. Now I'm going to do some choir practice. I chose Dorothea, who's a former opera singer, and Ferdy, who has
Choir practice.
Angel. So we're going to do some choir practice. And again, like everything at the monastery, it has an effect.
You also
Great
gain authority experience from that.
and
Interesting.
I got more authority experience.
And
with
faith
every
makes
section,
sense.
So it's another boon to your battles.
All right, it seems to be improving now. Let me know if it's still hitching for you. I really hate that. I don't know why it does that.
Really like, yeah, whenever you talk to a character, they are fully voiced and you can really engage with them. And some folks will be happy.
Here's the calendar.
Dual audio options. So
Yes,
yeah.
if
You
want
can
to
instruct
play
manually
together,
or
you can.
automatically. Okay.
So we're going to jump into some tutoring here, and as you can see, you can choose to instruct manually or automatically. One of the wonderful things about this game is that it's as deep as you want it to be.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk over her. That's why I'm
Like
not
me, I
saying
will
much.
pour
It's kind of
every
annoying.
single stat, every single unit that I have, and try and
We can
get
talk
my
about it
heart's
after,
content.
if
But
I don't say
I'm the
much
kind of
now.
player who really just wants to race through the story and the battles as fast as you can. You
It's
can
our boy
also
Linhart.
tutor, and it won't be quite as effective, but it is an option if you'd rather not deal with all of this.
He's not very good at punching people or using axes.
So for Linhart here, as you can see, I've set a custom focus for him. You can choose some predetermined skill goals for him, but I really want to make him a cavalier. I need more movement on my team. So I'm going to try and increase his lance and riding skills. Oh, he didn't do so well. I could critique him, but I'm going to play Mr. Nice Guy.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
good
console
call,
him.
bad cop. Like, which one are you gonna do?
And that was the right call for him. He doesn't respond to critique very well, so let's see. He's still got a bit of he did really well.
Yay.
Good job. And he leveled up in lance. So
Nice.
we'll check in a bit, but he just might have enough of that skill to be able to change class. We'll just have to see. Yeah, good job, Lenny. I'm very, very proud of you.
The chat on the actual
And then,
live stream is
you
extra
still got a
toxic.
little bit of motivation, so
I'm
let's
tempted to
ahead
go look
and
at it.
work on your horsemanship.
I don't want to mess up the stream though.
We leveled up as well.
Nice.
Skill level up. All right.
Why
things
is
are going
that
well for
doing that?
Lenny. And then let's also check in on Ferdy. He also has a custom focus here. I want to make him a brigand, mostly because I think he would hate the outfit, so I kind of want to force him into it.
That's vicious.
And another skill level up. He's doing really well here. As I said, I've been very focused on getting all of these skills up.
It seems like these people have been playing. If she knows enough about Ferdinand to know that he would hate being a brigand. That's interesting. Okay, here's these little events that you can do. We saw weeding, but then there was also, I just missed it. It was like stables and something else.
Exactly. It's
Cleaning
dependent on
duty or
the
something.
tier. It's even dependent on the way that you want to play.
Absolutely. Oh, and as you can see, some of your students can actually ask you if they want to update their goals, and you can choose.
So Ignace is an yeah, he's an archer. Wow.
Or just force them to become.
It's funny. He looks like a magic kid to me.
An archer. Here, I'm gonna leave Ignatz the way he was, just because I really.
Oh,
want
is
to
that his-
continue down that path.
Did we just get his
Actually,
official
sometimes
localization,
you force
his
a
name?
student into territory
Ignatz?
They're uncomfortable with, unfamiliar with. They'll actually grow exponentially in ways that they couldn't have foreseen. See, I'm always forced her out of her shell. It's good for her. She needs to grow and meet people. She's a wonderful young lady.
She needs some fresh air.
Yes,
I
she
agree.
does. And they did pretty well together.
Sorry, I'm making the chat a little bit smaller on the stream so you can
again,
see
can
more.
pour over all of the screen. I'm going to skip through it just so that we can move along here, but I would normally be looking at every single stat and seeing how my team has grown.
Knowing how you've played past Fire Emblem games, I can vouch for
Yes.
that.
All right, so now that we've gotten some good skill level ups, I'm actually going to jump into the certification exams here, and that's how you
Okay,
change,
cool.
classes.
Oh, look at all the classes.
The really cool thing is that all characters other
We're
than
gonna have to pause that later and go back and look.
any class. So I can make Lenny. Oh, yes, he has the skills that he needs. As long as you have the correct skills and they're at the correct level, you can become any class that you want. So
Look,
he
there.
has
She's even making him a cavalier.
So I can finally make him a cavalier.
Perfect.
If you want
Perfect
to
universe.
practice
Even though I think he's bad at
right,
being a
the
cavalier,
certification
unless you
exam,
tutor him.
I was at 100% chance of passing. If it was a little bit lower, it would have been a bit of a gamble. It might not have worked out for me. I personally like to kind of wait to make sure it's a sure thing. I don't like. to
All he got was
rolls,
+2
but,
strength.
You can roll the dice if you
Interesting.
like. It's up to you. And yes, I would like you to change into that class.
Yeah, and I do like that once you pass the certification exam for a certain job class, you don't have to keep using seals if you want to switch back and forth.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and make Ferdy a brigand as well. He's gonna love the outfit. He'll learn to love it.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Look at him styling and profiling.
He looks proud of himself.
Yeah. Go ahead and, yeah, let's keep you that way, Ferdy. All right.
Marketplace
so that
certifications, seminar,
pretty
battle,
successful.
rest.
Let's go ahead and let's jump
This is
to
showing us
battle.
so much.
Or no, you know what? Let's do seminar. Change my mind.
Catherine,
Seminars are a way where you can
Gilbert,
learn
look at
from
that.
some of
Eloise,
the other
Shamir.
professors or faculty at the Officers Academy. Like here, Sisateth is really good at lance skills. So if I want to continue to grow Linny in that direction, I can have him attend one of Sateth's seminars, and his lance skills will improve.
Oh, nice. It's very interesting that not only are you
Cool.
interacting with the students, but you're also interacting with the staff as well and building those relationships and understanding or learning their personalities as well. Because like just earlier you were having breakfast with Manuelo, who happens to be a faculty member within the monastery.
No, there are so many student characters in this game, and they each have such a depth. It's really a delight to get to know all of them throughout the course of the game. Oh, and it's the Holy Kingdom of Vargas Founding Day today, and there's a special dish. I really want to eat there, but I'm going to jump ahead so that we can get a look at some neat battle.
It's cool that they have like holidays and stuff in the calendar
My
too.
students are doing so
That'll
well. I'm
affect
proud of
things.
them.
I love seeing that level of it. Just going down the list.
As a teacher and a professor, it is satisfying.
Oh, and it's Marianne's birthday, and she's a sweetheart, so I'm going to...
Oh, go talk to Marianne. We don't know anything about Marianne. Go talk to Marianne.
So.
Come on.
Good job all around. I'm the favorite teacher, let's be honest.
I do like that you get to interact with students in the other
Yes, do
houses
battle.
too.
Oh, okay, so look at the missions. There's paralogs too,
There's
Yeah.
an option to interact
and
with them.
auxiliary missions.
Yeah, that's a great
plan
point. So
well.
you're not just stuck within the students that are particular to a house. You could always recruit them over to the house that you're currently following.
Yeah,
So they're playing
and
on normal
along those
mode.
lines, I'm about to do a paralog battle that
Ooh,
requires
there's the
Raphael
chapter screen.
and Ignatz to take part in it. And Raphael and Ignatz are not actually Black Eagle students. They're both from the Golden Deer, but I loved them so much during my Golden Deer playthrough. I couldn't bear the thought of going on without them, so I acquired the skills as a professor that they wanted to grow in, and since I was able to do that, I was
Ooh.
able to recruit them. And because I recruited them, I was able to access this paralog.
So there's confirmation that you can recruit students from other houses. I think there's probably a limit. And Ignatz, there's a localization for Ignatz.
Players can enjoy it at home, but basically what's happening is that Ignatz and Raphael are from a merchant families, and merchants are being attacked in the Alliance. So they want us to go and help them, and of course we're going to go help them.
It's
We're
very
heroes
noble
after
deed,
all.
yes.
Yes.
Doesn't make any. Agreed. Yep, you're gonna go.
I just love Raphael. He's the best.
He's so amped.
I knew you couldn't resist.
He's
Raphael is
awesome.
awesome.
So much.
Sorry, I'm trying not to talk over them because it's like 3 layers of audio right now.
Of,
It's the
calendar
game voices,
and
their
also
voices, and then my voice. Must be super annoying.
You live by the calendar.
So I'll talk more when it's over.
Determines when you take part in special battles, when you can do additional training opportunities, when people's birthdays are, special holidays.
You can give people gifts and lost
tournaments,
items.
all kinds of things. So you really want to keep an eye on the calendar.
Ooh, look at that.
All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into this battle.
Oh, there they are.
There are the merchants. Oh, they're in a little bit
Ooh.
of trouble because that guy doesn't look friendly.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Is that one of the dark beasts?
So my
Or
group
just
starts
like a
to
straight up
split
werewolf?
And as you may have seen,
Oh, they put the crest
to,
mural thing as the player
defend
phase
commander.
icon. Cool.
And obviously protect the merchants. That's pretty important.
So you're employing proper flanking maneuvers, which is already, it looks pretty good.
Yes, yes. And that's why I'm really happy that I made Linhardt a Cavalier here, because that gives me a lot of movement at my disposal, and I really want to be able to get over to this drawbridge over here. Ooh. So first I'm going to use a combat art, then I'll get over to that drawbridge.
yeah.
Combat arts are returning. You might remember them from Shadows of Valentia, and there are a bunch of new ones in this game as well. So
Night
we're gonna
Kneeler.
an Unleash one. They're very powerful, of course, but they also do lower your weapon durability very quickly. So
That
you
looks
can't
like classic
just
Fire Emblem, that
combat
attack.
arts. You have to be very strategic about how you use them.
That is very good to point out.
Oh, he lost a lot of health there. We might get to
Need some
see
reinforcements.
Lenny die.
Oh,
we'll
no.
see what happens.
They killed Linhardt, bro.
And, because he is a mounted unit, he can move again after attacking.
Where's your
so
healer?
I can just kind of scoot him away from those enemies, perhaps.
Stay focused.
Teacher to the rescue.
Yes.
There's that special sword. It's glowing here. We haven't seen it quite like that.
Is that it's not just between the opponent and your character. There's like action and battle happening, so it adds that immersion.
I'm surprised he's an archer. I mean, I kind of get it. I guess he's the Gordon of this game, but
There's my archer. It's always important to have.
really thought he was a nerdy mage kid.
And Ignatz is the best in the business. All right.
Ignatz has to be like my least favorite character out of the entire roster,
He looks like he's gonna be
unfortunately.
safe, so I can go ahead and start scooting Hubert and Bernie over this way.
She made it out of her room.
She
again.
did
I'm so
again.
proud of her.
I'm forcing her out of her room, but
That's so cool.
what I'm trying to do with
So
her
if there's one character in another house that you really, really like, you will be able to recruit them even if you're in another house. That is cool. I'm sure there's probably a limit to how many you can get, but Giant Wolf, Darkstone Wolf, interesting.
Way closer and closer to them, and I don't want that to happen. So let's do our best to prevent that.
But I love that because there's so many people that were so torn on picking a house.
Wow. While we're doing that, over on the
There's
left
Petra.
side, here on the right side, I'm going to try and inch closer to the commander so that we can maybe take him down before he causes any more mischief.
Start whittling down their forces.
Yes.
Got that Dorothea. Let's go.
So I like to watch all of the battle animations because they're really beautiful, and as you can see, they actually zoom in on where you are on the map. It doesn't just take you to kind of a generic location, which is really cool. But for the sake of time, I'm going to try and force myself to skip the animations. It's painful.
So many bad hair designs in this game.
Oh, the folks at home, luckily this game is going to come out soon, so the folks at home will be able to experience this on their own and get through all of these, meet all these characters, experience all these battles, and dictate how they want to play.
I do like Audrey's point. The camera zooms in when you engage an enemy, and the 3D environments of the map.
There's Casper.
I like the fact that you can adjust the camera angle too. Like if you like the overhead view like traditional Fire Emblem, or if you want to like explore the environment a little bit, make it a little bit more scenic.
Oh, they
Yeah, it's not something that's always been.
They just skipped the turn?
Great thing about the Fire Emblem series.
Linhardt didn't die.
Customize your battle to your heart's content.
He lived.
You can decide to skip animations, turn them on, off, all kinds of things. So, like I said, I love just watching all of those things, but you really don't have to if you'd rather just get right to it.
Yeah.
Good job, Hubert.
Well done.
Let's see. I think that's the best we can do. Oh, look at that. That actually unleashed a gambit. So
Bernadette looks much better in this
This is her battalion who I've assigned to her, and because I've
in this
assigned
class,
them to
this
her,
upgraded class.
she was able to use their gambits, which did her really well here. Was able to defeat that enemy.
Yeah,
so,
she got a crit in that one too.
and it never would have happened if she hadn't left her room.
Sword of the Creator.
So proud. Yes, another
That's what it's
gambit.
called.
Nice. Wow.
We might just save these merchants after all. And I leveled up.
Such power.
Was that he got a level up in Charisma? CHA?
If I don't say so
Interesting.
myself, truly amazing.
Indeed.
It worked out.
All right. The path is clear now. And using my brand new Cavalier, I was able to get over to this bridge
Well
and
done.
lower it for those merchants.
She's actually playing quite well. I kind of figured she'd lose somebody, but then again, she's playing on normal though too. So
It covers like 4 spaces on the map.
Right.
Like,
I just thought it'd be
shows
funny if we
how
saw someone die on stream,
massive
someone eat it.
That character is versus all the
They might
other-
have to use the
other,
pulse then.
Units on the
We
field.
get to see how it looks.
He's incredibly powerful too. It takes a long. Yeah, look, he's 4 spaces. He takes a lot to.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the demonic beasts.
Positioning is so important in Fire Emblem. At the end of your turn, your units are vulnerable to enemy retaliation, depending on what position they are. And so these bosses that take up more than one square, that it really opens.
Yeah, they made him into a cav.
Possibilities of positioning.
So there's one more important battle that I'd like to show. So I think we're going to go ahead and switch over.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to defeat this commander today, but I'm going to leave that great pleasure to the viewers at home whenever they pick up the game.
What are we doing now? What is?
So we're going to jump right into a story battle right now, and I jumped into a bookmark.
I think
here,
we've seen
and
this dungeon before.
So I've already gone through quite a bit. I'll just run through my strategy so far. We started off over here.
Yep, this is the one with the
and
warp
as you
tiles,
can
yeah.
see, this is a real labyrinth here. So I split
Oh, this map
my
is even bigger than we
units in
thought
half.
then.
I sent my mounted units who have higher movement over this way so that they can kind of go through there and figure things out, while my more powerful units went over here where there were a lot more enemies and a lot of traps. So now we're over here. We've opened these doors, and my mounted units have made their way through this maze. So we're in a pretty good spot, I think.
And still deploying a flanking maneuver because you have them on both sides.
And I was able to open the door here. One thing that I think is really important to do.
Are those trap tiles?
When you're in one of these sprawled out maps is to...
They're called cover. Oh no, I think they're just...
I have Sylvain here as the key bearer on this side, and whenever there's a key, I make sure that it gets over to him so that I always know who has the key. I can make sure that's the person I'm sending towards the doors.
All right, and I'm noticing these are students from the Blue Lion house.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, we are playing a different house now.
That's a good call. In this save file, we're playing as the Blue Lion path and as female Edelgard.
Or Byleth.
Oh, sorry, female Violet. So many names.
I know.
Oh, and we've got
it just goes to show how many characters there are in this game. So
I wonder if they were told how to pronounce Byleth.
To keep track of
Byleth.
But as a professor, that's my duty. All right, so I'm gonna cozy up to...
Is it Fire Emblem on GameCube? It should hopefully be something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's the first time they're going back to consoles since the Wii.
And I keep not skipping the battle animations because
they're so cool to look at.
What should I do?
Yeah, give me some to do.
Be you. And here's my healer. As always, it's so important to keep track of your...
There's my girl Mercedes.
And make sure that they...
Show us some Ingrid. We don't see enough Ingrid. Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Attack somebody.
But as you had mentioned, too, that it's really important to make sure...
She's just shrekking these people.
Especially for this map, to point
There we
out
go.
which character has the key, so then you're not scrambling around trying to identify where they are, but also switching them around.
All right, so we're making pretty good work of these folks. And Annette, let's move you over here. She doesn't have quite the same movement as everyone else, but she's a mage, so her ranged attacks are really, really critical because all of my mounted units, they generally tend to be lance users, so I really need to have someone with ranged attacks on my side over there.
That's how it goes.
And I don't know if you're able to see it, but some of our...
I like how they just lay on the floor before they vanish.
Heroes relics, and those are very special weapons that you can only use if you have the associated...
There's our boy
crest.
Sylvain.
And crests are of incredible importance in this world. They determine your status.
Oh, his assault troop leveled up. Okay, interesting.
So whether you get a crest
So his actual battalion soldiers can level up too.
Position in this world. And maybe not everybody's super happy with that system.
I'm just loving how Ash is able to attack those enemies across the wall. Like,
yeah, we're able to take them down without putting ourselves in too much danger, which is really nice. Oh, my battalion leveled up. All right, Ash, you did well. Now you get to forge on ahead.
Proceed with caution.
I shall, Dedu. I promise. I think... How are you doing, Dedu? I'm going to heal you. Yeah, let's go ahead and heal Dedu.
Healing animation. Okay, we saw that with Linhardt before. Same thing.
All right, thank you, Mercy. Well, let's go back over to this side, and there's a lever here. So let's flip it.
still a few enemies to take out here.
Did they say there was dual audio? I didn't hear that. Did I miss that?
So let's send Sylvain up this way. Take that guy down.
I don't think they're that irritating, to be honest with you. They're better than I would have expected.
Check all of these warp panels, see where they take you, but I just happen to know which one I want. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight there. I've done this before. Oh yeah, let's use Rally, because Felix, he's a bit of a downer. He needs some pep in his step.
He's a downer? He's a jokester.
Closer to this warp
A
panel.
jerk,
It's gonna take us,
potentially.
where we need to be to get closer to the Death Knight, who sounds really friendly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If we have
Flame
to
Emperor
say
Soldier.
hello to him.
Yeah, I'm not
So it looks
sure
like this is a map
but
against the
Tyler
Flame
Jackson
Emperor,
is,
which is the guy with the mask. Interesting.
Yeah, his mother should have thought twice before naming him Death Knight, maybe.
She said it was a story mission, so I guess he's an actual story boss.
Folks at home that are just tuning in,
Which makes sense, because there's a
Fire Emblem
cinematic
Three
of them
Houses,
crushing his
where
mask, so...
you, play as a professor to basically encourage students and just prep them up. You can play however you
After
want.
one of the ladies said there's
Death
full
Knight
voice
is
acting, she
amazing.
said there's dual audio.
It's
Wow.
a really deep
That
narrative
would be
story.
really,
All
really
the
great. I
characters
hope
have
that's
their own
true.
personality.
I'll have to go
Right
back
now
and
we're
listen to it
playing,
later.
A bit earlier in the game where it's a
So many people are going to be so
audio
thrilled
jump,
that there's
which,
dual audio in this
if you
game.
Tune in yesterday's Nintendo Direct. You got a little bit of a preview of what happens after that jump, but this game is really, really cool, and we're really excited.
Warp
to share it with
tiles.
you today.
Yeah, and that was just a taste what you saw in the trailer. Their story.
Put your archer up front, that always works.
All so complex. You can't.
Looks like they just have the one
tell
dude left,
what's going
unless
on
more
until you
will
play
pop
the
in.
game. So you have a lot to look forward to,
Yeah.
viewers at home. All right, so my key bearer is here at the door.
Oh, and
We're gonna go ahead and
oh, there's the Reaper Knight.
say
Death
hi to
Knight.
the Death Knight pretty soon. You know what, Sylvain? You're a good man, but I'm gonna go ahead and let your professor do the hello.
Oh my gosh,
Because Death Knight is very powerful and very, very scary.
this is risky.
We're
They
all
must have
very
practiced this
scared of
map.
him. So
But they should have killed that dude before opening the door. I guess they're just trying to, like, rush through it a little bit. They're also playing on normal, so I guess it's not very hard, but...
And then one thing I want to point out.
So maybe the Reaper
is
Knight,
that-
or the Death Knight, works for the Flame Emperor, then?
well, for
They
Death
were
Knight,
both
just keep
introduced
this
at the same
enemy and
time.
I'll point stuff out. But say I had royally messed up in battle and, God forbid, let one of my students get defeated. There's actually a way using Divine Pulse. Where
Divine
you can go
Pulse.
back and
Divine
you can
Pulse.
redo
Look at this.
The whole match if you want. Or
Here's Miller's turn wheel in
just
Three
go back
Houses.
if you
Divine
can.
Pulse.
This is obviously very powerful.
2
It's
charges.
very
I like how
good.
limited it
You
is.
can use it strategically, or you can choose to just not use it at all and just live with the deaths. But it's actually a great way to not have to reset a whole 30-minute battle if something doesn't go your way.
Yeah.
So it's a neat option for fans.
It's also important to note too that right now you're playing in the normal mode.
I'm playing in classic
Or
mode,
classic
yes,
mode,
which
yeah.
means that when people die, they stay dead. So, yeah, Divine Pulse is a great way to get around.
Yeah, I mean, Miller's turn wheel, you could always go back to any turn you wanted to, so that's the same.
Another battalion level up. That's handy. Oh,
Oh.
no.
You said he was friendly.
See, there's the Flame Emperor.
Yeah, so we're going to stop
right here.
right here.
They don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Over here.
Because this friendly fellow just got a little less friendly. So.
You said he was friendly.
Yes. But
lie.
yeah, I should have pointed out that not only do you need to either take down the Death Knight, which is difficult, or take down all other enemies on that map, which there were a lot of them, you have to do it in 25 turns.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
So there are conditions and challenges to every battle.
Yes.
Cool.
But that was just.
Why are you sad,
a little
Chaz? What is
sneak
there to be
peek
sad
at Fire
about?
Emblem
This is
Three
great.
Houses. As we mentioned, it's coming out July 26th, so you won't have to wait long.
Is this
to
it?
get your hands on
Yeah, we got about 30 minutes of
Thank
it.
you
Makes
so much
sense.
for running this through with us and explaining everything. There's a lot of content
Yes,
for sure
it's
to
a
run
very
through.
deep game.
So thank you so much for
She did a good job.
tuning in.
Good job.
But don't go away. We still have a lot more content to show you. Up next is a multiplayer mode of Luigi's Mansion 3.
Guigi. All right, I'm going to lower this volume. Maybe I'll just keep that on for visuals. We're going to have to wait until they... actually, wait. No, I can go back in the live stream. Silly me. Silly me. All right, we're going to go back and we're going to go through it, and I'll kind of give my thoughts as it goes through. Let's just start off around here. The most hype thing right now, just right off the bat, is... it was a part of the leaks. I'm not going to touch on the leaks once again. I was saying this yesterday. I don't want to talk about this particular leak because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But we just did get confirmation of something that one of the bullet points of those leaks, which was you are able to recruit students from other houses, which means that let's say you really like the Black Eagles, but you also like Mercedes, where there's going to be a chance for you to be able to get her as long as you're, I guess, either adept at certain things, you provide what that student kind of wants to grow and learn in, they will be able to switch houses. It's probably going to be a limited number of students that you can do that with. I think that's also what the leak was saying in that regard. But she was able to get both Ignatz who is Ignace, but that's the new localized name for Ignace is Ignatz. She was able to get Ignatz and Raphael into her Black Eagles army. So that is interesting. She had 2 students. Let's put this like just a little bit quiet in the background, because otherwise I'm just going to be talking over them the whole time. Okay, let's start getting into it. So we start off in the monastery. You can see Sothis in the room. Let me see if I can get that specific spot where it finally starts. You can see Sothis's head in the bottom of the screen. So she will actually be a physical entity, even though, see it right there? She will be actually in the monastery in some spot, I guess in your room or something, so you can chat with her. It does look a little empty. I wish there were kind of more people, more students walking around, or more stuff happening, but at the same time, if it's a big monastery, then I guess that kind of makes sense. It just looks a little Warriors-y with how like big and, you know, open and empty it is. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but so he's got a couple quests here. It is currently Red Wolf Moon, whatever month that is. Find the medicinal herbs, talk to the cathedral's counselor, and talk to the dining staff and invite someone. Some of the quests seem pretty easy. There was just a point where she, at some moment after they eat, she goes and like answers a question about who a character is and gets a whole bunch of stuff like a bow. So that seems pretty simple. Oh, I saw Manuela in the background there. Here's the fishing area. Here's the dining hall, and she's going to do something with Manuela and others. Who is it? Petra? Talking to Dedu. There's Edgelord, Edelgard. What'd you guys think? Was that interesting? They showed, you know what? They keep surprising me. They keep showing me and giving me a little bit more than I kind of expected. I like it. I like it a lot. At some point here, we're going to see the classes. I don't know if I should just start skipping through it or not, but there's a faculty and knight mixer today. So there's going to be students that are like more suited or better or get better rewards from certain things, depending on the daily, whatever the daily thing is. Interesting. Yeah, so Petra, Manuela, and all 3 of them get support. So they're eating with Byleth. Interesting. Up to this point, we hadn't seen that Byleth was on the other side of the table, so we kind of just thought it was just these 2 students interacting. But we do know that you can see students from other houses here, which I guess kind of subtly told us that you could recruit students from other houses. But we couldn't be certain of that before. Yeah, this game keeps surprising me in really good ways. It like in places where I think they could have like skimped. I don't think it would have been good that they skimped, but in places like that, it keeps surprising me and making me happy. So I could not be more stoked, really. Here's our boy Raphael, the Arden of Three Houses. The questions and the answers with some of the students do seem kind of limited. You have 2 options, and then he just had the option to give him a gift there. So I hope there's a good like amount of those. It would stink if like you play through the whole game and you're constantly answering like the same questions with different students and stuff, if you know what I mean. I hope there's a good variety of questions and things that you get asked. Okay, now you're in the cathedral. We've seen bits of this from the first trailer. Edgelord is not a queen, she's an empress. Very true, very true. Thanabom was right all along. It seems so, but there still could be... A lot of leakers will put fake stuff mixed in with the real stuff. So there still could be aspects of those leaks that are not correct. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So she figured out who the note was from, apparently, and it was Hilda. But I think it showed the silhouette before she selected anything. Let me go back a second. Hold on. It didn't... Yeah. Hold on. Let's see what that said. I didn't read it. Would you like to read a note from the advice box? Each month, people will approach the counselor with their concerns. Select responses that satisfy them, and your support points will increase. So these are your students complaining about you, about your teaching style. I'm supposed to write a letter to my brother to let him know how I'm doing, but there's nothing that I want to write about, and on top of that, it's just too much work. Yeah, that's absolutely Hilda. And the options are kind of generic here. So what does she pick? She picks the second one? Actually, yeah, Hilda would want to talk about her friends, probably. She seems like the gossipy, like, airheaded type. Yeah, so of course she likes that answer. This note seems to be from Hilda. Hilda is satisfied with your response. It's so funny because it's supposed to be, like, anonymous, but it shows you their little silhouette on the side. That's hilarious. It's like, my friend was wondering if... Resolving other people's problems is difficult. You may be able to figure out what they're seeking if you become close enough to spend time alone with them. Words of wisdom. Talk to the cathedral's counselor to learn of the various troubles plaguing the people of the monastery. To help solve them all, you'll have to become close with many different people. And they got a steel bow, albinian berries, and 5 pond snails. And 300 renown points. Cool. Very nice. And it looks like maybe because he picked, this lady picked black eagles, the crest seal is the seal of Saros. There's Petra. Yeah. I have great love for the sea, but Garreg has... let me go back. I have great love for the sea, but Garreg has too much distance from it. I am needing to be inside the water soon. Where is the best place for swimming? Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, Petra is from, I think, Brigid, which is one of the islands, like, pretty far off, away from the continent of Fodlan. So she is a foreigner. She does speak a little differently, because she's trying to, like, get used to the language. But that's cute. She wants to go swimming. Telling her to go visit the Sea to the south. That's a pretty far trip. If they're in the Garreg Monastery, which is on the mountain range, the sea to the south is pretty far, but I guess she's telling her to go to the Adrestian Empire and the coast down there. And that's where she's allied with as a Black Eagle, so I guess that makes sense. So choir coordinator. Oh yeah, so now they're going to do the choir here. Pick a couple students to do that with. I wonder if this is showing students on the left here who have a proficiency in faith magic, because that's what this raises, or if these are just the bonus people of the day, if it changes. Hold on, she said something about romantic relationships.
And at that point, of course, after the 5-year jump, you can even pursue a romantic relationship.
After the 5-year jump, you can pursue a romantic relationship with somebody. Okay, so the drama is averted. If you want to get with students, you got to wait till after the 5-year gap. Okay. Okay. We got so much from this, so many little tidbits already. All right, bonds among the 3 of you grew stronger. The 3 of you gained faith experience, and Byleth gained authority. Yep. Makes sense. Game's fully voiced. We kind of assumed that, kind of figured it. This week's instruction is about to begin. We saw this. You can either instruct manually or automatically. His sprite is so weird over here. So we've seen this screen before. We've seen some of this, but she does kind of dive into the menus here. Yep, so picking to instruct. We've seen this before. Just kind of helping students out with stuff. Linhard is not good with axes. He's not good with gauntlets or, physical punching people in the face. I think he's also not good at riding, which is interesting because she's about to make him a cavalier. But of course, you can always tutor them to make them better. So maybe she already did that. I don't know. I'll have to catch it. No, she's not scrolling down all the way.
So I'm going to try and increase his lance and writing.
Wait, so she clicked... She tried to increase him in lances. Let me see that again.
For him. You can choose some predetermined skill goals for him, but I really want to make him a cavalier. I need more movement on my team. So
Yep, and he didn't do so great, probably because he's not that suited for it. Interesting. But then you can critique him or console him.
increase his lance and writing
That's
skills.
interesting.
Well, he didn't do so well. I could critique him, but I'm going to play Mr. Nice Guy.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
good
console
cop,
him.
bad cop. Like, which one are you?
I wonder what critique does.
For him. He doesn't respond to critique very well, so let's see. He's
Yeah, maybe different students will like the consoling better or the critiquing better. Interesting.
a bit of a, he did really well. Good job. And he leveled up in lance.
Yep, he got C in lances. Cool.
Bit, but he just might
He learned
have,
Knight Kneeler, which we see later in battle.
to change class. We'll just have to see. Yeah, good job, Lenny. I'm very, very proud of you. And then, he's still got a little bit of motivation, so let's go ahead.
Oh yeah, so he doesn't look to be bad at horses in this one. So I wonder if she already tutored him to be better at riding. Because from what we saw before, the screenshots showed that he was bad at riding. He had the red down arrow.
Work on your horsemanship.
He was lacking in riding skills, which is completely ironic because this is the character that looks like both Lynn and Reinhardt had a baby, and they're both, Lynn can be mounted. She's very effective mounted as a Sakaean character, so it's just ironic that he was not good at it then. But I think probably most people will end up making him that just because of who he is, who he looks like.
Mostly because I think he would hate the outfit, so I kind of want to force him into it.
I like that she knows Ferdinand enough to be teasing him and wanting him to be in an outfit that he would hate, so that's kind of cool. He learned Helm Splitter.
I've been very focused on getting all of these skills up to the level they need to get the classes that I want.
It's very good to point out that like there's
They're going to the group task. Okay, so group tasks, this is what we've seen before. You can pick 2 students to do something and gain experience and also, bonding points and stuff. Maybe support ranks between them and maybe between Byleth as well. We've seen Weeding before, but so here's Stable Duty and Skywatch. And I think she chooses Skywatch, and then you can see them riding on Pegasus Knights. So work together to secure the skies, raises flying skills. Weeding is work together to rid the monastery of weeds, raises heavy armor skills, and then there's also Stable Duty, work together to clean the stables and feed the horses, raises riding skills.
each character has a specific
Cool.
affinity for a class, but you can dictate how you want to play it, just the way that you want
Right,
to
so
play
it
it.
fits sort of the synergy of the rest of your army and how you like to play.
Exactly, it's dependent on strategy, or it's even dependent on the way that you want to play.
Absolutely.
Begin lecture.
Oh, and as you can see,
A physique like mine isn't suited to combat in close quarters, so I think I can be most helpful by using a bow. Let's hope I don't ever lose my classes. Update goals. Focus on sword and bow skills to focus on the bow skill to excel as a sniper. So they'll each, your students are going to have things that they themselves want. So I wonder if you'll ever, as a teacher, have to go against what the student actually wants for themselves. And if they'll have lower motivation or something like that and do a bit worse if you're trying to force them into something that they're not good at and don't want to be. That's really interesting.
some of your students can actually ask you if they want to update their goals, and you can choose to go with what they're looking to grow in, or just force them to become an archer if you want them to be an archer. Here, I'm going to leave Ignatz the way he was, just because.
So then here's a little. Oh, this,
down that path, and
she's skipping through the week here. It looks like.
Territory they're uncomfortable with, unfamiliar
So
with.
here's the task that she just did. She did the watch, I guess.
They'll actually
Skywatch.
grow, exponentially in ways that they couldn't have foreseen. See, I'm always forced her out of her shell. It's good for her. She needs to grow and meet people. She's a wonderful young lady.
She needs some fresh air.
Yes,
I
she
agree.
does.
Support points between the two increased, 500 gold, and smithing stone times 3. I wonder if that's for forging.
And they did pretty well together. All right, and then you can see, again, you can pour over all of the screen. I'm going to skip through it just so that we can...
Because you can get skill ranks through all this stuff, you can see that's probably why they added the pluses and stuff to each tier level. So it's not just C to B to A. It's like C to C plus probably. Either that or they're just intermediate, intersteps or something. But yeah, that's interesting. Learn the ability Axe Prowess level 3 and Monster Breaker.
can move along here.
Monster Breaker seems pretty good. Reason level 3, Axe Prowess, Wild Abandon,
My team has grown.
Bow Prowess.
Knowing how you've played past Fire Emblem games, I can vouch for that.
All right.
Yes, there's a
so
calendar.
now
We can't see too much here, although, yeah, so here's the certification screen. She's about to go in here, and we'll be able to see the classes a bit better. Rest, I think, is when you can... we did learn a little bit about this. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think you rest, and time passes automatically, and you gain a lot more energy to do stuff after the fact. Battle is, of course, battle. Seminar is seminar. And explore is just probably to, I guess, run around the castle or just look. Maybe it just... oh, that must be the castle map to show you what's happening.
that we
Marketplace is the shop.
level.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. And actually it scrolls down. So there are like what looks to be 4 tiers of classes. So, wow. Okay, so beginner we have, I think this is Myrmidon here, soldier, and then we have, what is it, brigand or whatever? One of those classes. No, fighter. It's fighter, sorry. And then probably monk. So we do know about those 4, and then it expands into intermediate classes, which include what looks to be the Dark Mage class, the Priest, is it Priest? Priest or Cleric, one of those, Brigand, Myrmidon, Thief, there's a Knight, there's a Cavalier, there's obviously either an upgrade to the Fighter, no, that must be, I don't know if it's going to be called Archer or Sniper, but it's going to be one of those. And then if we look further down here, there's a Wyvern Knight. There's some kind of upgrade. It must be Paladin. There's Great Knight. Maybe upgraded Thief or Rogue. There's what looks to be Sword Master. I don't think you guys can't see my mouse, but we're looking in the Advanced tab. And then, I don't know, some upgrade. Maybe that's Hero on the left here near the Advanced thing. Then below that, we have something with an axe, which might be like a Berserker or something like that. Then what must be a Sniper there. Then I don't know what this one is with his arm outstretched. And then also after that, upgrades to the mage classes.
I'm actually gonna
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. That's cool. You can see their sprites for each character as they switch through these. I don't think they're going to scroll down, though, so we're definitely not going to get a peek at the 4th tier, but that's interesting. Or, I don't know if we should call it 4th tier or 3rd tier, but you do start off as a noble or a commoner, and then you choose a beginner class, so it really is kind of like a 4th upgrade.
certification exams
It's
here.
really
You can
interesting.
change, classes in this game. The really cool thing is that all characters other than character exclusive classes can become any class. So I can make Lenny, oh yes, he has the skills that he needs. As long as you have the correct skills and they're at the correct level, you can become any class that you want. So he's at those skill levels, and so I can finally make him a Cavalier. If he wasn't quite at those skill levels, I could still try.
Please like the stream. We'll go look at the stream at some point. I kind of want to see what you guys are saying about them being toxic over there.
If it was a little bit lower, it would have been a bit of a gamble. It might not have worked out for me. I personally like to kind of...
He only gets like 2 strength, yeah.
I don't like to waste my seals, but you can roll the dice if you like. It's up to you. And yes, I would like you to...
Yeah, you need an exam seal to be able to take exams, which is why you can't just like spam every exam with every character. You're going to have a limited amount of them, so you'll have to pick and choose who you want to be, what class, and you'll have to be prepared for when you take that exam. Because if you don't have the right skill levels, if you're trying to make somebody something that they're not, it's going to be more challenging, and there's a chance that they might fail, and you'll waste that item. So, but I don't see what stops people from trying it, failing, and then resetting, and then, you know, just not doing that, or, you know, trying again. I'm not sure. You could probably abuse it that way, unfortunately.
For a certain job class, you don't have to keep using seals if you want to switch back and
Yep, Armored Knight, they changed it. So instead of Armor Knight, it's now Armored Knight. Interesting. And there's Brawler. Yeah, so there's the Gauntlets class.
Absolutely.
The first thing is Archer.
So, let's go ahead and make Freddy a Brigand as well. He's going to love
Oh,
it.
she's doing it.
Learn to love it.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, look at that.
He doesn't look bad as a brigand.
He looks proud of himself.
Yeah. Go ahead and, yeah, let's keep it that way. Ready?
Okay, so that was a message about the battalion. So obviously you're going to have different battalions that you can use as each different class. So that just told
Learn to love it.
her that it unequipped his battalion, I think, because he obviously had a different kind.
He looks proud of himself.
Yeah.
Yep, so she's going to say yes.
Yeah, let's keep
The battalion, so fast. I might have to half speed it for a second here. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, that's creepy.
Go ahead and
The battalion that was assigned has been removed because this unit is no longer the correct movement type for that battalion. Makes sense? All right, put this back to normal so we don't have to hear them being creepy.
Yeah, let's keep you that way. All right, so that was pretty successful. Let's go ahead.
So, ooh, she showed events. I don't know if that's worthwhile going back to see, but I'll just do it. Rare monster sighting, so there's like a bit of a monster hunt mission. Tales of the Red Canyon, Rumored Nuptials, Death Toll, and Fish of Mystery are the current events happening.
And let's jump into a battle. Or no, you know what?
Oh, I want to see that though. Sorry guys, bear with me.
Seminar.
Nope, it was further back.
That was pretty successful. Let's go ahead and let's jump into a battle.
Mission, the Remire Calamity. That looks like the real story mission, which is going to be active at the end of the month. Looks like she can't select it now because they're only about halfway through the month. It's 11/16. Paralog is Tales of the Red Canyon. Then we have the other ones that we kind of just saw. But then there's also some auxiliary missions like Monsters in the Mountains, Battle at the Border, and Battle on the Plateau. Interesting. Suggested level. And there's also a description. A pattern of strange occurrences in Remire Village has suddenly erupted into something far more serious. Interesting. Let me get the map in the background there.
Or no, you know what? Let's do seminar. Change my mind.
All right, just going to have Sateth. So we got some other teachers here. I wonder if these guys are going to be recruitable. That's what people are kind of speculating. But we have, obviously, Byleth. We have Sateth. This is the guy that is with the Divine Saros in the second trailer. You can see him standing. Actually, for you guys, he'll be over here in that trailer. I guess he's good at lances. Then we have Hanneman, who researches crests. Manuela seems to be the kind of dancing, performing sort of professor, as you could probably tell. Then there's Gilbert, who's new. Alois, I think this guy, he must be in the Knights. I think he's in the second trailer walking with Geralt through the forest. His face is familiar. Then we have Catherine. I think she's also from the Knights too, but it looks like you can have a seminar with the Knights to kind of learn more skills from them. And then someone by the name of Shamir. I kind of like her design, actually. She looks cool. Oh, she went on it too. So this guy, Eloise, is begin a seminar on a fighting style developed by the Knights of Saros that utilizes axes and gauntlets. I'm going to go back really quick and see if I can kind of get what that chick is at the bottom, what she does.
Seminars are a way where you can learn from
begin a seminar on fighting styles designed for special situations such as firing a bow from a long distance or battling in the dark, lances and bows.
some of the
Oh, and she went on Catherine too, but we could probably assume Catherine's probably swords and something else.
faculty.
Fine, you know what? Not going to leave any stone unturned. We might as well look at it. Let's see what Gilbert is too. Gilbert is axes and lances. Okay. Manuela is swords and reason magic. Or is that faith magic? No, that's faith magic. Swords and faith magic makes sense. He's got lance and authority. Actually, let me go back. When is she?
Seminars are a way where you can learn from
Go all the way down. All right, so Shamir we got.
some of the
Ah, darn it. She goes over Catherine so fast. Sorry, guys. Bear with me one more second here.
seminars are a way where you can learn from some of
Oh, okay. So, yeah, swords and fighting. Cool.
the other professors or faculty at the Officers Academy. Like here, Ceciteth is really
All right, so she does it.
The Monastery.
No, there are so many student characters in this game, and they each have
He's
some
asking about the goals again. Did she just deny him for the second time?
throughout the course of the game.
So she's kind of skipping through the week here. Maybe going on auto.
The Holy Kingdom of Vargas founding day today, and there's a special
We got
edition.
special calendar events
There, but I mean,
with special effects.
Get a look at some neat battle.
Okay, so here is the Skywatch. So those two went out on Peg Nights, and then I guess days later it finally gets to kind of cash out of that mission or whatever. Right? Because we saw that, I think it was a different time earlier that she was clicking on it. I could be mistaken. But I'm getting a little tripped up here with this part. But anyway, so here's the rewards for doing that Skywatch kind of group activity.
All right.
We did
My students.
we see this? He learned Lance Breaker. Lance Breaker's back. Nice.
Well, I'm so proud of that.
Axe Breaker. What did Petra learn? I got to see. Sorry.
Some neat battle.
There's so much happening here.
All
Helm Splitter,
My students are doing so
Lance
well.
Breaker,
I'm so proud of them.
Axe Breaker.
That level of it.
Yes.
As a teacher and a professor, it is satisfying.
Oh, and it's Marianne's birthday.
They don't do anything with Marianne, but it offers, would you like to buy flowers to celebrate for 200 gold? So you can actually like spend your in-game gold to be kinder and nicer to your students and give them gifts. I can only imagine the elitists, how they're going to play this game. They're going to mistreat the crap out of their students and not spend any gold on them unless they absolutely have to.
Flowers. And as you see,
Interesting.
points for that.
They have 13,000
Good-
at
good
this
job
point.
all around.
13,900, I think.
Let's be honest.
I do like that you get to interact with students in the other houses too, regardless of the house you choose. There's an option to interact with them, possibly recruit them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so there's them talking about interacting with other students and possibly recruiting them.
a great point. So you're not just stuck within the students that are particular to a house. You could always recruit them over to the house that you're currently following.
Cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's probably my favorite thing from today.
Do a paralog battle that requires Raphael and
Death
Ignace
Toll, White Clouds, Chapter 8, The Flame and the Darkness. And this is the Flame Emperor mission.
to take part in it.
Oh, no, it's not. This is the,
Are not actually Black Eagle students. They're both from the
no, this is the one where they're at the,
But I love them
the
so
daytime
much
map,
during
right?
my Golden Deer playthrough. I couldn't
Although I don't think we
do
get to see the
that
boss of that one, though.
without them. So I acquired the skills as a professor that they wanted to grow in, and since I was able to do that,
Ignatz has a pretty good voice.
and because I recruited them, I was
Sounds
able to
better than he
play
looks.
paralog I otherwise wouldn't have been able to play. So I'm skipping right past this story moment here, so that
Raphael is awesome. I'm just like liking him the more that I see him.
happening is that Ignatz and Raphael are from a merchant family.
Wait, what's happening here? Is he analyzing hard? A little bit.
So they want us to go and help.
I'm trying to see what I can see here.
Of course we're gonna go help them. We're
Very
heroes after
noble
all.
deed,
Yes.
All right, so this is just... I don't know if this is a main mission or a side... Oh, it's paralog. It's a paralog mission. Okay. Actually, I want to see what she clicked there, though.
So they want us to go and help them, and of course
Like who?
we're gonna go help them.
It's
We're
very
heroes
noble
after
deed,
all.
yes.
Yes.
So it has to do with the Leicester area. We depart at once, begin paralog battle, or not right now, return to previous screen.
Love Raphael.
So they're going to start the mission.
He's always amped.
Oh, there's a lot of you guys today. Thanks for tuning in, by the way.
And we've seen a glimpse of the calendar.
I'm so exhausted. I don't know if I'm going to make like a real video on this right now, but maybe I'll just put up this as like my analysis of it.
You take part in
Because I have a full trailer analysis coming hopefully later today. I had to stop uploading it to do this stream because it was actually killing the stream earlier. I think that's what was doing it, trying to upload that video. But yeah, so that'll be coming out. I got a full trailer analysis for the trailer from yesterday, and then hopefully today we can kind of look through all this, and then we can get the analysis from this,
battles when you can
because I'm tired.
additional training opportunities.
Owl feathers. Gifts and lost items. I see owl feather. A feather from a messenger owl that can be used in a variety of ways. Appreciated by everyone. So that's like a generic gift that you can give someone. Interesting. Use the gift option to increase your support points with others by giving them things they like. A gift will also increase an ally's motivation. So support and motivation, it looks like.
When people's birthdays are, special holidays, tournaments, all kinds of things. So you really want to keep an eye on the calendar.
All right, so check out this little battle prep screen here. We got save, system, quit, marketplace. So you can actually, it looks like you can shop, like go to a store right from this menu. Interesting. It's been in previous games before, but sometimes they would take it away in harder difficulties. There's a support menu here. You can look at the map, units, inventory, fight, pretty standard. This is interesting, though. The way that it's shaped, it almost looks like Milla's Turnwheel. In this game, it would be the Divine Pulse, as we found out. Or she'll say it later, but this almost looks like the Milla's Turnwheel of this game. So I wonder if this has anything to do with that. If this is the Divine Pulse thing or something, or if it's just, you know, fancy menu design. I'm not sure.
Want to keep an eye on the calendar.
And everything has that Beleth crest icon on it, so clearly that's pretty integral to who he is and everything you're doing.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, so we got to be careful about the merchants on this mission. But is there? I'm trying to think. There's not really that much we can glean from this part, I don't think. So I might kind of skip through it a little bit, but we'll watch a little.
Pretty important.
So you're employing proper flanking maneuvers, which
Rescue the merchants and get them off the battlefield. You can get rewards depending on how many you help escape. That's pretty classic Fire Emblem right there.
is already, it looks pretty good.
Yes.
I'm sure if they all live, you get the best rewards.
I'm really happy that I made Linhardt a Cavalier here because
Linhardt's level 15. He's about to get hurt a lot. Yeah, I don't know why she's attacking an axe guy. So this combat art, Night Kneeler, gives, looks like extra attack and hit. But weapon durability, minus 4 points of weapon durability. So, interesting. And then Tempest Lance does similar, but for minus 5 weapon durability. It gave him more attack and stuff, though. More expensive.
They're very powerful, of course, but they also do lower your weapon durability very quickly. So you can't just spam the combat arts. You have to be very strategic about it.
Does he not have...
That is very good to point.
It looks like he does have soldiers with him, but they didn't attack, I guess, when he did that combat art. Interesting. They were kind of just chilling in the background.
We might get to see
reinforcements.
Lenny die. We'll see what happens. And because he is a mounted unit, he can move again after...
How are we doing, guys? How you feeling?
Kind of scoot him away from those enemies, perhaps.
Colino says apparently the weapon triangle is out. I don't think so. I didn't look too hard at his hit rate when he was attacking. I felt like it was in. We've seen stuff before that made it look like it was in. Because people had like lowered hit rates and stuff.
Absolutely. And
Got Ignatz with the break shot.
my archer, it's always important to have a good archer on your team. And Ignatz is the best in the business.
They like him a lot for some reason.
All right. So I think Linhardt's covered pretty well. He looks like he's going to be safe. So
There is no weapon triangle? Did they say that?
Hubert and Bernie over this way.
It's confirmed no weapon triangle? Where did they say that, Ironheart?
Forcing her out of a room, but
I didn't hear that.
well, what I'm trying to do with Linhardt is to move him over to this drawbridge, because if I lower that drawbridge, then I can...
I guess that would make sense considering all the different weapons you can pick and choose from like pretty freely throughout the classes. Maybe the classic weapon triangle system kind of held him back from
closer to them, and I don't
stuff
want
with
to
that.
happen, so let's do our best to prevent that.
GameSpot confirmed it? Interesting. Okay.
While we're doing that, over on the left side, here on the right side...
Are heal bushes back? Yes, I think they are. I think they did mention that in like a Famitsu article.
Start when laying down their forces.
Yes. And so I like to watch all of the battle animations because they're really beautiful, and as you can see, they actually zoom in on where you are on the map. It doesn't just take you to kind of a generic location, which is really cool, but for the sake of time, I'm going to try and force myself to
Are there beast units? We don't know yet. We don't know anything about that. We don't even know if there's a playable Manakete character. Unless you can recruit like Sothis, and she is one. No idea. That enemy wolf thing is just a monster, I think. It could be some kind of werewolf, but I think it's a demonic beast and not a dude.
I do like, to Audrey's point, the camera zooms in when you're
Fighter is bows and gauntlets, right? I think it's bows, gauntlets, and axes.
of the map. I like the fact that you can adjust the camera angles, like if you like.
Where is her hat? What a disgrace, no hat. When you upgrade Dorothea, she loses the hat, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign for
that's
things.
always been a really
I hope that each character, if they have generic outfits, class models for each thing, I hope at the very least that they keep their color. Like Dorothy is kind of maroony red. If she keeps that maroony red, whatever, I'm cool with that. But if they all look the same when they upgrade and change classes and stuff, that's going to be bad. I don't like that.
Well done.
I hate how they do that in Awakening, how they have just everybody be generic blue. They lose all the little quirks of their designs and stuff. Bernadetta looks good as a fighter. Or is that a brigand? It's either fighter or female brigand.
And because I've assigned them to her, she was able to use their gambits, which did her really well here. I was able to defeat that enemy.
Yeah, she got a crit in that one too.
And it never would have happened if she hadn't left her room.
Maybe there's an accessory shop like in Fates and you can get her.
Nice. Wow.
We might just save
It would be cool if they had accessories in this game. I would actually really like that. I hope they do.
if I don't say so myself, truly amazing.
Indeed.
All right. The path is clear now. And using my brand new Cavalier, I was able to get over to this bridge and lower it for those merchants.
so they can run away from that massive wolf, which we haven't actually just mentioned yet.
It's probably a good thing that she made Linhardt a cavalier, because she made Ferdinand not a cavalier, so she kind of needed one.
That character is versus all the other units on the field.
He's incredibly powerful too. It takes a long. Yeah, look, he's 4 spaces. He takes a lot to.
Yeah, that's got to be a demonic beast.
Positioning is so important in Fire Emblem.
I don't know if that's necessarily a crest monster, but it's definitely one of the demonic beasts that we've heard stuff about.
And so these bosses that take up more than one square, that it really open up just like different possibilities of positioning.
So there's one more important battle that I'd like to show. So I think we're going to go ahead and.
Haven't been paying too much attention to the...
We're not going to be able to defeat this command.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
Leave that gray pleasure.
Something about it seems kind of easy. Yeah, they're playing on normal mode, and they do seem kind of over-leveled.
So we're going to jump right into a story battle right now. And
Yep, so this is the chapter with the warp tiles. Like I said before, we got the Death Knight over there, or the Reaper Knight.
quite a bit. I'll just run through my strategy so far. We started off over here, and as you can see, this is a real labyrinth here. So
The enemy unit variety seems very A1.
my mounted units who have higher movement over this.
We can see somebody in that main room over here has the green item bag icon on them, so they drop an item.
Powerful units went over
I just tried to pause it, and I was not on the right screen.
and a lot of traps. So
Yeah, I like that they put that little icon, so now you can kind of just look around the map and see if anybody has anything that they drop.
units have made their
I forgot she was just like spazzing out at this point, just going all around.
Still deploying a flanking maneuver because he
So yeah, back to the Blue Lions. Let's see. There is an option to dismount. Okay, so dismounting is back. Wow. That's interesting. So I guess that... How does that going to work then? That means they would probably turn into like just a soldier then? Interesting.
them on both sides.
and I was able to open the door here. One thing that I think is really important. to
So he goes in here and then some enemies spawn. So it seems like it's kind of a booby-trapped
in one of these sprawled out maps
dungeon.
to kind of choose a key bearer. So I have Sylvain here as the key bearer.
What is this device that appears operational?
Side, and whenever there's a key, I make sure that it gets over to him, so that I always know who has the key. I can make sure
And then
that's
these
the
dudes show up.
listening towards the doors.
Right, and,
Trap sprung.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, we are playing a different house now.
That's,
Oh, it's
Skip ahead a little bit. We got female Byleth this time.
both too.
but as a professor, that's my duty.
They have Ash run out.
I'm gonna cozy up to
Head first after this.
and use a combat art to
He's got a lot of stuff going on. It looks like he has lock touch. I don't know what that arrow +1 thing is. Maybe, yeah, I don't even know. Is that close counter too? It's kind of what that other one looks like. And then you can see his levels in axes, bows, and authority right there.
Ooh, yeah. Let's use that one. Again, I keep not skipping the battle animations because
They're so cool to look at.
Growths do seem pretty good. We didn't see any awful level ups in this trailer really.
Deru, you just be you.
But there's charisma at the end, which I find interesting too.
And then here's my healer. As always, it's so important to keep track of your healer in these maps and make sure that they stay alive so that they can help you stay alive.
Yeah, for sure. But as you had mentioned too, that it's really important to make sure, especially for this map, to point
Poor
out
Ingrid.
who
Skipped Ingrid.
has the key, so then you're not scrambling around trying to identify where they are, but also switching them around.
You got Felix.
So we're making pretty good work with these.
Yeah, I guess I could probably skip ahead. She kind of, I mean, this is just kind of normal stuff. I like that they like lay on the floor though after they die. It's really weird. Like this dude here.
I don't know if you're able to see it.
It's just like laying there.
Our students here, including Violet, have heroes relics, and those are very special weapons that you can only use if you have the associated crest. And crests are.
Okay, so they just talked about special hero weapons.
I don't know if you're able to see it, but some of our students here, including Violet, have heroes relics, and those are very
Some of the students have heroes relics,
special weapons that you can only use.
and you need a specific crest to use them. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense because Byleth has the Sword of the Creator, I think is what it was called. And based on what we saw yesterday in yesterday's trailer, all of the lords after the time skip end up using those kind of bone-looking relic weapons, and they all have crests in them. And that kind of makes sense that they're like aligned with whatever crest that they have. you know, with Edelgard's being the Saros crest and stuff like that. So those are probably the legendary weapons of this game. Relic weapons.
Crests are of incredible to everyone else, but
Let me just hear that bit one more time.
someone with range attacks on my side over there. I don't know if you're able to see it, but some of our students here, including Violet, have Heroes Relics, and those are
Heroes Relics.
weapons that you can only use if you have the associated crest. And crests
Interesting.
are of incredible importance in this world.
So when leveling up your battalion, this is an assault troop that he's got. You can get physical attack, magic attack, hit, crit, avoid, PRT, and resilience. Resilience, I think, is res in this game, but what's PRT then? Protection? Defense? Did they change defense? And then what looks to be charisma.
They determine your status.
And they seem to only get about like 1 point each time or something, but
So whether you
kind of
use
makes
crest
sense.
and which crest you have really determines your position in this world. And maybe not everybody's super happy with that system.
There's the Plague Doctor Witch Mage dude. One of them at least.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a generic enemy class in this game. They're just like styled after them. She got +2 physical attack, +7 hit, and +1 PRT protection maybe.
Oh, my battalion level.
She actually got a lot at that time. The other one wasn't as much of a level up.
Ash, you did well. Now you get to forge on ahead.
And then of course we throw Ash head first right into the enemy corridor, where it looks like enemies can also randomly spawn too, or at least like when you reach a certain tile they'll spawn. She had, oh, it actually just said what minor crest she had. I guess I gotta go back. There's so many little things that I'm probably missing here and there. Alright, so she has what looks to be live to serve, and then some healing things right here, +5 to her healing. And then you can see her levels there.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
And then she's got the minor crest of Lamine.
All right, thank you, Mercy.
That makes sense, because she's a noble.
This side, and there's a lever here.
So they're going to press the lever. What does that do?
Let's flip it.
Still
And
a few
then-
enemies to take out here.
Maybe that opened a door? It didn't really show.
Send Sylvain up this way. Take that guy down. He's blocking one of the warp panels I want to use. Normally, you would need to check all of these warp panels, see where they take you, but I just happen to know which one I want. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight there. I've done this before.
Hacks. She's haxing.
His Felix,
Totally haxing right now. Wait, what did she just cast on him?
send Sylvain up this way.
I keep goofing around and missing stuff.
Take that guy down. He's blocking one of the warp panels I want to use. He needs some.
Yeah, that was what I wanted.
Felix, he's
Drat.
down. He's
Sorry,
blocking
guys.
one of the warp panels I want to use.
Bear with me
Normally,
here.
you would need to
Just want to see what Annette casts
check
on
where they
Felix.
take you, but I just happen to know which one I want. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight there. I've done this before. Yeah, let's use rally.
It was a rally. They're casting a rally on it. Okay. That makes sense. What's up? Yeah.
Felix, he's a bit of a downer. He needs some pep in his step. And then we're all going to move closer to this warp panel, which is going to take us where we need to be to get closer to the Death Knight, who sounds really friendly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If we have time, we're going to go and try and say hello to him.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Basically,
Got to do. I like that his personal skill activates. All he has to do is wait, and his skill activates for extra defense. It's cool.
Play however you want. There's a lot of depth in this game. There's a really deep narrative story. All of these characters have their own personality. And right now we're playing.
Just not really doing much here besides moving people.
Their backgrounds are all so complex. You can't
Yeah, Sword of the Creator is the name of that sword.
until you play the game. So I
The Three Houses falchion.
look forward to viewers at home. All right.
And then instead of killing the last guy outside, she straight up just opens the door, just brings about the chaos.
Say hi to the
He's got a little medal on. I guess that's the boss medal of this game.
You're a good man.
There's a little medal by him.
Go ahead and let your professor do the hello.
Oh my gosh.
Because Death Knight is very powerful and very, very scary.
This is risky.
We're all very scared of him. So let's go ahead and end this turn.
Kingdom Knights.
And then one thing I want to point out is that, well, first I'm going to defeat this enemy and then I'll point stuff out. But say I had really messed up.
Yeah, you can see it looks like her battalion got hurt. That's why she has 2 yellow carrots now instead of the 3 green ones. I think it has to do with battalion health. So here's Divine Pulse. Here's the Miller's Turnwheel feature. It's not Skyrunning Pulse. It's been localized as Divine Pulse. Cool. Am I watching bot gameplay? No, it's these ladies at E3. Nintendo Treehouse ladies. They actually do a lot better than I kind of expected, so I can't say much. So plus 10 hit. And then they kind of don't want us to see this. They skip through this, but his voice is interesting. I wonder if the Flame Emperor will be like the Black Knight of this game, because he's wearing a mask. We do see at one point that his mask gets crushed in the trailer from yesterday. So figuring out who he is might be kind of a big deal. He's also got an interesting voice too, like the Black Knight. Can stats decrease upon level up? I don't think so. It's not typically a thing. Maybe when class changing. All right, I mean, I think we got most of the stuff there. We got some really, really cool stuff here from this trailer. We now know a lot more than we did before. A lot of little blanks and holes have been kind of filled in, which I think is really, really cool. So once again, let me just reiterate for anybody that's just joining now. I think some of the major bullet points we want to hit here are, first off, you can recruit students from other houses. I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can do, but you can certainly get, like, let's say you're, once again, if you're Black Eagles, but you really like Mercedes, you think that she's a cool character and you want her, you will have the ability to get her as long as you offer her, I guess, what she's looking for as far as, like, a career path, whatever skill she wants to work on. They weren't too specific about that, but I'm stoked about that, because I know there's a lot of people that like specific characters from each house. So the fact that you can kind of at least pick and choose a little bit more, I think is really, really great. That way, I think your decision making is going to be easier. Unfortunately, it does kind of change things for the video that I made recently, though. I might have to put a little note in the description now and pin it. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you make videos early, right? Yeah, what else? What else happened here? Skyrunning Pulse, the Miller's Turnwheel is now Divine Pulse. We learned a little bit about interacting with students and stuff, how that's going to work, the tasks. What am I missing? What else did we talk about here? Let me just, like, kind of skim back through it. We saw that there's it looks like 4 tiers of classes, because we've got, you know, obviously you start off as Noble Commoner, but then you upgrade to the sort of normal standard classes. Let me see if I can find the bit in here. Was it before this? I'm having trouble finding it, but we talked about it a bit earlier. You can kind of go back if you guys are tuning in at this point in time. But yeah, there's a point where they show the classes for the different characters, and there are what looks to be 4 upgrades. So you go to your, like, first upgrade is going to be between like Myrmidon, Fighter. Sorry, I have to think of this off the top of my head. It's harder this way. It's those 4 standard, and Monk. Monk is one of them. It's the 4 standard classes that we keep seeing information on. Those are like that's the first, like, tier. And then we have intermediate after that are kind of some of the more standard classes that we know, like Cavalier, Armored Knight, and stuff like that. And then there's another tier after that, which is like their typical, you know, probably like Sniper, Paladin, that kind of stuff. And then there was space at the bottom of the screen for even more stuff beyond that. So I guess technically you can, it's probably going to be the same like tier level at the end as something like Radiant Dawn, where you have the 3rd tier promotions. But we start off kind of a little bit differently with this one because you start off as a nobler commoner and you upgrade into that first like mini tier to begin with. So that's different. It's interesting. What else do we see here? We saw some a demonic beast, some wolf type of deal. We saw some more combat arts. Yeah, what am I missing here? I don't know. It was just kind of good to see little bits and pieces everywhere. I hope the turn wheel isn't there because the enemy has good crit rates. I'm not sure that I'd be concerned about that so much. Let me play some music here, and we'll go for a bit longer here. I can kind of talk to you guys, because I'm sorry I wasn't paying too much attention to chat this whole time. I tried to every now and again, but, you know, it happens. All right. Jeremiah, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed everything, but that's okay. You can kind of go back and watch if you really want to. I'm just going to leave this going in the background, actually. So let's mute this, and let's have them start over from the beginning. Boop. How are you guys feeling? You excited? Did this increase your hype level? It certainly did for me. I didn't know rangers can have 3 range attacks. It did look like that, didn't it? I'm kind of glad, because I like the extended ranges from echoes and stuff. I thought that was really, really cool and made archers better. 110%, 100% hype. Nice. I hope it lives up to it, but definitely we keep seeing good stuff. Like, we keep seeing little tidbits here and there that are really, really good, I think. So I'm kind of stoked about that. I'm not sure it increased my hype, but I'm very curious and going to buy the game. Oh yeah, James Romano here is actually listing all the classes. So the advanced classes, this is the kind of normal 2nd tier promotion. Hero, Swordmaster, Assassin, General, Paladin, your typical stuff. Wyvern Rider, instead of like Wyvern Knight or something like that. Warrior, Sniper, upgraded Gauntlet class, whatever that. Oh, I think is that Brawler? Might be Brawler. Sage and Bishop. 9,999%. How's the volume? Is the volume good? I hate that I always have to check this, but it's always like not what I want it to be. So give me a second. I hate that I always have to check this, but yeah, see, it's like super loud in my ear, but it's actually like pretty decent for background audio right now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in with me today. There's so many of you. I hope you're excited. This looks great. I love the little tidbits of information we got today. I think it's really great news that you'll be able to get at least a couple students from other houses, so you can kind of pick and choose, and that adds even more replayability to the game, because you could always try grabbing different students, and maybe you like their dynamic with other students better. I don't know what that means in terms of like support conversations, if that means that everyone will end up having supports with everyone else, or they'll be extremely limited. It is fully voice acted. They did say that today. I don't know what that means for actual support conversations and what that's going to do for that. With echoes, I do think that because they were fully voiced, the amount that we got was severely limited, unfortunately. So that kind of stunk. I would hope that we would get more from this game, but that remains to be seen. We haven't really seen too much about that. Or maybe they're just going like the, you know, some of the past games route, where they kind of just simplify it and they just kind of get the rank up, and it's not really a specific conversation, which kind of, that would stink too. But I would kind of understand it, because there's so many characters and so many different like interactions that would have to happen. Just the fact that you can get students from other houses, I think, creates kind of an issue for supports, if you ask me. Yeah. Gay is gay game, really? You're not happy, Hecky Deck? What's the matter with it? Why is it not good? Oh, you know what? I wanted to look at the yeah, actually, I should be able to go back still, hopefully. I want to go look at the toxic chat that people were mentioning about the stream, the actual Nintendo stream. Yeah, so it should be, it is here. It's not doing, oh wait, yeah. It's not doing the replay yet because the stream is not going to get posted after, so I guess I missed it. Pretty nice. These are people talking about something else at this point. Darn it. All right, so I missed it, but whatever. People are going to be toxic. It happens. Oh, I missed the super chat. Alchemy Knight, $1.99. Thank you, sir. Or madam. I'm late, but what's good? Everything is good. I think it's great. I think this looks awesome. I think we saw a nice amount of little tidbits here and there today from this that are really, really cool. Bond says, Stevie, I love you. I love you too. Thank you for watching. They just uploaded the gameplay to YouTube. Remire Village equals Ram Village. Could be a callback. Could be a throwback to that. Janet Van Dyne says, it was bad, Stevie. What was bad about this? What was bad about this today? They didn't show us like that much, but we got like the little things. What they were saying was more important than what we were seeing, if that makes sense. Every now and again, they would throw in a little tidbit here and there that kind of answers questions that we've had this whole time. So that I was really satisfied with. We got a good amount out of this, I think. Oh, they mean the chat was bad. It probably was. It was probably people that don't even play Fire Emblem that were just like, waiting, come on, give me my Minecraft, my Roblox, or something like that. That's probably what it was. Yeah, I'm sure. Or Smash players that don't like Fire Emblem, perhaps. Was there ever mention of it having online battles? No, that could be a questionable sign for that. Personally, I would be a little disappointed if it didn't. I want some kind of interaction between friends. The Switch is a portable console. I think it would be a huge shame to not take advantage of that and have some kind of features here with that. But yeah, we'll have to see. They haven't said anything about that. Or if they did, I missed it. But I was trying to pay attention, so yeah. Chat was people saying it was boring or skip to the next game. Wow. Wow. Fight me 1v1. Fight me IRL. I'll crit you. You think there'll be overclasses DLC again like Echoes? I don't know, because we have already seen that there is another tier of classes after. I guess there's the potential of them always adding to that pool with DLC. I would be surprised if they didn't have any DLC for this game. I am honestly a little... Maybe I should be happy, but I'm a little surprised, I guess, that they didn't announce like any kind of bonus or something like that for buying the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I would assume that there's going to be something. It could also be really cool, too, to extend the life of the game if they added other stuff via DLC that made it more replayable as well. I mean, it would stink to not have that in the base game. I hope that the base game itself is really replayable. But if they add, like, more maps or something like that, that could be really, really cool, too, as, like, a DLC pack. I just hope that they learn their lesson from Echoes, because it was priced way too high for Echoes, and everybody was upset about that, so... Do you think there will be post-game? I don't know. It's going to depend upon how this story goes, but it looks like there are paralogs and pretty much map skirmishes that you can do. It doesn't have quite the open world map. This is kind of the, what is it, like a birthright approach to the world map type of deal from what we saw. There are paralogs and stuff you can do. It's just it's not you running around the map freely. It's just kind of a menu you're staring at. Yeah, it depends on how things are going to go, but I would kind of figure that there's probably going to be a point in time where you'll be like in the monastery at the end if it's still if the monastery still exists by the end of the game and doesn't get destroyed. I'd imagine there's like you can click the final mission type deal and just go do other stuff instead of doing that. Maybe when you beat the game, you just go back to that point like a lot of games will do. Welcome bots, enjoy your reign. Do we have bots in here? I'm not seeing any bots. Honestly, Three Houses is shaping up to how I kind of wanted Fates to be like. That makes sense. I really do feel like they have learned a lot from Fates and maybe the complaints about Fates, because there's a lot of stuff that they're doing here and there that I think is pretty good and pretty satisfying for people. So yeah. How do I feel about it so far? I am super stoked. I am absolutely stoked. There are some things that I'm still a little worried about, but I think for the most part, I'm already pretty much sold on this game. I think it's going to be great. I really do. Every time, like, the more that I see the art style, the more that I see the students, all this kind of stuff, it just keeps growing on me more and more and more. And we're not even playing the game yet. We're literally just watching footage and trailers and stuff. So I'm definitely very excited for this game. I'm not going to mention leak comments, guys. Please be mindful of other people, so they might not want to be spoiled. So try not to leak stuff in the chat. Nebulous asks, "What Lucky Crit? Which house are you going for in your first playthrough?" And actually, someone was asking me earlier if seeing the glow up of the main lords here actually changed my mind about which house I wanted to go with. No, it did not. I really do think I'm probably going to go Blue Lions. I like the other houses a lot as well, but there's something about Blue Lions that's like really speaking to me, and I think I'm going to go with that. And I'm really curious to see what the heck happens to Dimitri in that 5-year span. Like, figure that out and kind of deal with that. And, you know, if he's all like disheveled and messed up, maybe I could kind of help him or stop him if I'm Blue Lions. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go, if it's going to be different depending on who you pick or whatever, but I think it's Blue Lions for me right now. Oh yeah, so here's the classes. I guess I'll just pause it right here so you can kind of see. So yeah, beginner, we have these 4. Intermediate, we have our kind of standard normal classes like Armor Knight, Cavalier, and stuff like that in other games you would just start out in. So you actually start out 2 tiers behind, if that makes sense. But I think that adds value to these classes, and these are classic series classes, so that's fine. It's fine by me. So, because you're going to start out as a noble and commoner, depending upon the character's like heritage and who they are, and then you're going to go into beginner, which is going to be Myrmidon, Soldier, Fighter, and Monk. Sorry if I was forgetting some of those before. It's easier to see it with the sprites here. Yes, and then you're going to have, what is it, Mercenary? Or did I switch them? No, it's Mercenary, and then you upgrade into Myrmidon, I think. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Mercenary, Soldier, Fighter, Monk. And then in Intermediate, we've got Myrmidon, we've got Thief, or whatever it's called in this one, Armored Knight, Cavalier. Then we've got Brigand, we've got Archer, we've got, I don't know, is that Brawler? I forget what the physical class is going to be called for this one. Brawler is either this one or the advanced version of it. And then aside from that, it's we've got like a Priest, we've got the Dark Mage or whatever Hubert was seen upgrading into, and then female mage class, which I'm not thinking of the name right now, but you get the drift. Yeah, interesting. It's also interesting that there's no intermediate version of Wyvern Riders. That's going to be like a straight upgrade class for characters. So you might want to, like, if someone is going to end up on a Wyvern, you might want to make them Soldier and then go into, like, I don't even know, like Cavalier, and then upgrade to Wyvern Rider later so that they have the kind of lances all throughout. Because otherwise you're going to be like working on different weapons and stuff. And even though there's actually more weapon freedom, so you can kind of probably pick whatever you want anyway for that particular character, but you should probably kind of stick to one thing for each character, I would say, because otherwise when you try to jump ship and do something else, you might not have the ranks to be able to get that class that you want. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Forsetti says there's a scroll bar, so we might have more. Yeah, I'm thinking there's another tier after this. There definitely looks to be. You can see some like lines here at the bottom of the scroll. Oh no, those are just rips in the scroll. But there's absolutely more to this screen that we're just not seeing. I like how they cleverly hid it. It's like it perfectly is off screen at the bottom there. But yeah, it looks like there's at least one more tier after this, which I'm kind of stoked about. I really liked the 3rd tier classes in Radiant Dawn. Stuff like True Blades, Gold Knights, Marshals, all that stuff was so cool. I really liked that. It was nice to see like building upon the classic classes and kind of bringing them up to like an even more godly level. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bon is saying you can use the period and comma keys to go frame by frame through a video. That would have been helpful to have remembered earlier, but that's okay. We managed just fine. Yeah. So there's 5 tiers. Yeah, it's a little confusing because you start out in a tier that's not here, and then you would go into beginner, which is, I guess, your actual first tier, then intermediate is 2nd, advanced is 3rd, and then I guess whatever is beyond advanced is 4th. So I guess there's kind of 4 tiers, but it's weird. It's almost like everybody starts off as a villager, sort of. James Romano says, I definitely thought Linhart was a girl until now. I've gotten a lot of those comments, actually, but he's not. Oh, yeah, there are stupid bots here. What? Really? Really, dude? Sorry, guys. I know you were telling me about that. I just didn't see them for some reason. Yeah, I don't have Nightbot in here or anything. I need to get better at that. Do you need items for class change? Yes, you need a... what does it call it? Called a mark or something like that. You do need an item to be able to switch classes, so it will be limited. You do want to make sure that your student that you're switching classes with like has a decent chance of passing, because otherwise you're going to waste items to do that. And we don't know how rare they are, but they're probably pretty expensive, I'd imagine. HackyDeck says, never even played a single Fire Emblem game before. Perhaps this will be a good place to start. It's definitely looking like a great game, so I hope you like it. Jan/S. I haven't played the 3DS Fire Emblem yet. Should I play them first, or is there no problem to play Three Houses first? I played the GBA ones and on the final chapter of Path of Radiance. You won't like... The good thing about Fire Emblem is you can start anywhere. Most of the games are not connected very much at all. Even if there is like some connection, it's like, oh, it's the same continent, but thousands of years later. So it really has no bearing on the story. So you can start anywhere. You don't need to. And there's another stupid bot. Goodbye. That's, you know, I'm going to take that as a compliment. If somebody thinks this stream is popular enough to put stupid bots in here, then I think I've made it then. That's where I'll go with that. But yeah, you can start anywhere. Doesn't matter too much. I definitely think there's some great, like, the 3DS games of Fire Emblem are great. Like, if you're interested in trying more, I wouldn't, like, tell you not to play them. They're absolutely great games, even still. Every Fire Emblem game, I think, is good. So, it's just kind of, it depends on what you want to do, and if you want to save money. This is going to be what's hype right now, so maybe you can always go back to the other ones later. But this is going to be coming out in, wow, like a month and like 10 days or something, right? Something like that. Yeah. That's very positive thinking for having bots. I try. Yeah, if you want like a similar experience, but Echoes will still be different in a lot of ways, but it does have pretty much full voice acting and stuff like that. So Echoes is a very great polished game to go check out. It's the last game we got on the 3DS. It's a remake of the second ever game, so there is some kind of old archaic aspects to it, but there's a lot of new features and stuff too, and I really love that game. I think it's so great. There's just so much amazing polish with Echoes. Why was the chat there so salty? I guess they don't like Fire Emblem. They just wanted the next thing. They probably just thought, I don't want this anime game. Give me some Minecraft. Where's my Roblox? Show me Roblox on Switch. Updates or something. Demus the Abyss says, so it looks like there are no Pegasus Knights. There actually are. This is on Linhart. They're female only, so that's why we're not seeing it here. I don't know if she clicks on a girl character to show that. The keys are not working properly, so. There are Peg Knights. Don't worry about Peg Knights. But there are some weird things about this where, like... Yeah, that's Ferdinand, but I don't think she looks at a girl. There are weird things where Dark Mages are now male only, even though the past couple games they were female classes, aside from, like, Echoes and stuff. But the more modern games like Fates, girls were able to be Dark Mages, so it's kind of odd that they've kind of reverted a little bit in that sense. But maybe they had so many female classes that they had to kind of balance it out and give some specifically male-only classes to make it fair and even. I kind of feel like that's probably what happened with that. I'll just keep letting this go. We'll talk a little bit longer here. Maybe I'll close it out at 2. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you had a good time today. Hope you liked looking through the trailer bit by bit. Will there be Amiibo functionality? There's no word on that just yet. The Switch can use them. I really hope there are, because I want to have a purpose to have, you know, all the Amiibo that I have. And I think it'd be great to have further added usage out of the Amiibo that we have, especially Fire Emblem Amiibo. So, yeah. Avery asks, do you think being able to upgrade to any class makes the game easier than past games? Definitely a lot more freedom. Maybe in that sense, there's like better classes that you can put people in to kind of make the game a lot easier, I'm sure. But we haven't seen if there's going to be a lunatic difficulty yet. I really hope there is. There did seem like there was space on the title screen for that. So I would really hope that you can. It seems like you're going to have to play Hard Classic and then unlock it though first. You're going to have to play through Hard Classic the first time. Hopefully it'll be a decent challenge at least, but you know, most of the Fire Emblem games at least have some challenge, so as long as you don't like grind DLC maps and stuff, you can't really complain, so. Brian Chung says there is Amiibo functionality. I don't know. I didn't see them say it, so I can't say that they did. Maybe they said it and I missed it. Nish Patel says, will it have dual audio? They did seem to say that it will have dual audio. Yeah, that's a surprising one for me. I'm really excited about that. I know a lot of people will like that. I probably won't play with it, but I like having the option, and I know a lot of people like that, so definitely happy about that. What do you think about the relic weapons having durability? I completely missed that, actually, because I was too busy looking at the name of it. But that is interesting. Hopefully there's some kind of, like, you know, either hammer and staff or some way of adding uses to them. Otherwise, you're just going to have to be very careful with them, you know, like in some of the older games. I guess it's fine. It makes it more balanced. You have to be more careful about when you're going to use those. Hacky Deck is copying and pasting one of the tweets or information that they sent. I don't know. I don't know what you're getting at with that. I read it yesterday. Let's see what else we got in here. GameSpot actually confirmed Amiibos will have some sort of functionality. Oh, okay. See, it helps to be part of a company like GameSpot to get all the in-depth insight, huh? Must be nice. Yeah, Shamir is a new teacher that we saw in there. She teaches, I forget already. It was like bows and something. We went through it. You can watch in the back in the VOD. Okay, wow. We got another bot here. Goodbye. Yeah, two bots here. Just trawling YouTube looking for a good stream. Do not click on those weird bot links, guys. I need to have my own bot in here to help prevent that stuff. Sorry. What class will you be thinking of for your Byleth on the first run? I honestly have no idea. We keep seeing them classed as Myrmidons or mercenaries, and it's like I really don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it just yet. I might go like kind of generic with my first playthrough and kind of give most people the sort of class line that they kind of look to fit. So for example, Sylvain's probably going to end up being like a Cavalier for me. Stuff like that. I usually like to keep it kind of standard at least the first time, and then I'll kind of mess around with stuff later on different on like further playthroughs after that. So I'll probably do something like that. So if he is good with swords, I think, so maybe he will just end up being a mercenary or Myrmidon for me this time. Hope there's some kind of romance/children thing like Awakening and Fates. That's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm sorry in the recap that I kind of did like 15 minutes ago at this point. It looks like you'll be able to romance after the time skip. So I don't know what that means now, if you can build supports in this early game part and then do the more romancy stuff later. That's probably what that means. It will also avoid a lot of controversy, I think, because, you know, here in the West, if you can, like, as Byleth, try to get with students, it'd be kind of weird. But I guess if you're older, it doesn't quite matter as much. I don't know. But it definitely seemed like a good decision on their part. Alex says, damn, I'm late. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of go back in the VOD at some point, though, so don't worry. Do you think we'll have children as DLC or even time skip like genealogy? I don't think so. 5 years is not enough time for them to like have kids. You know what I mean? Unless they shoehorn in some thing like Fates. I don't think so. I think the fact that they have to design all these characters in the cast and the roster and then give them a complete redesign for 5 years later is kind of like double the work than normal. So I don't think we'll be seeing a batch of kids with this game. I do not. Personally. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. What difficulty will my first playthrough be? I'm going hard. I gotta do it. I gotta do hard classic. I just have to. It's probably gonna be... I don't know how tough it's gonna be. That'll be interesting to find out, I think. We'll see. They might have basically deconfirmed children. I don't remember the specific line of dialogue to refer to, though, when talking to people. I feel pretty strongly that they won't be in the game from everything that we've seen. So that's all I can stand on right now, is my opinion. Do you think they'll pull a genealogy by doing an expansion DLC, maybe? I don't know. It's possible. I'm trying to think of like the DLC packs that they could consider for this game, because I feel like it will have DLC to some degree. But yeah, they could do something like that, I guess. I think people will be mad about it, though. Games look really good in motion, but not in screenshots. That is very fair. A lot of people were kind of being harsh about the graphics and stuff. They're definitely not the best graphics ever. They did go with kind of a more cartoony, anime, cel-shaded type of a style. And it's not like the 10 out of 10 the most impressive graphics that we've ever seen or anything like that. But I think it's fine. I think it works. And there's a lot of people complaining about like clipping and stuff. We talked about this in the stream yesterday. And I don't think it matters. I'd rather have the dudes in the background run around randomly and do random stuff, and that way cool things can happen, than have them all on like set paths and like avoid clipping into each other and stuff. I just think that it's like, it'd be too robotic then. All right, you are done, dude. Goodbye. Your stuff is hidden from now on. Click here, bot. Goodbye. Get wrecked. To be honest, I don't like some of the graphic choices. For example, the little head over the PGs. I hope you can remove them from like a menu. You mean the little diamond thing of the characters? Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't bother me for some reason. It's never bothered me. I have seen people complain about that already, though. Thoughts on what the new hub might be after the time skip? I don't think you'll be coming back to the monastery without a purpose. It does seem like there's probably a pretty good chance that the monastery gets destroyed or something like that, because in the trailer that we got yesterday, it seems like they're talking about being back at the monastery, meeting everybody, and the place looks kind of wrecked. Like there's flames everywhere, bad stuff happening. So there's probably a good chance that the monastery gets destroyed. And in which case, maybe they just turn it into like a camp somewhere. I could see them doing that, having it be pretty much the same, just not the monastery anymore. Fire Emblem is not known for its graphics. I mean, that's fair, but the thing is, like, after so many years jumping back to a console, the graphical leap between Sacred Stones and Path of Radiance was so massive, going from like straight 2D classic sprites to just actual polygonal models. It was so huge and mind-blowing and really great for the time. It hasn't really aged that well, I would say, but it's still fine. And I think most people were just kind of assuming that it would just be another huge leap like that again, and unfortunately it's not really, but it's definitely an improvement from the 3DS games, of course, so you can't really complain about that much. I think it looks better than certain PS2 era games. I mean, that's probably pretty fair, yeah. What is the glowing blue square the enemy is on? I didn't see that part. They do have healing bushes, though, I think, are back from Path of Radiance and stuff, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I didn't see it. What, in your opinion, is the best Fire Emblem? That's a really tricky question. I have a very specific answer for this one. For me, it's Sacred Stones, and the reason why is because I played Fire Emblem 7 first. That's the more like classic style of Fire Emblem. And then when we got Sacred Stones, everything that they did differently from Blazing Sword from Fire Emblem 7, I was like, yes, I love this. Yes. You know, it was more free. It had the open world map, the creature campaign. You could recruit some of the boss characters in the post game. They had dungeons. They had terrors, or, you know, basically monsters as the enemies. I really liked all of those things. I think fighting soldiers after a while gets pretty boring, so I like having monsters or other things to fight. At least, like, you know, zombies or something like that are kind of cool. And the variety of the monsters in that game are really cool too. I don't know, I just think like Sacred Stones did like everything right for me. I know a lot of people complain it's way too easy, it's not hard enough. There's a lot of things you can easily like hit it on and peg it down, but for me at the time, like, I will just always look back fondly and love that game. And I liked 7 too, but I think for some reason for me I kind of like the freedom of being able to explore a little bit better than just going from straight chapter to chapter. It felt less, I guess, stressful for me. Maybe at heart, I'm more of like a casual player, I guess. Because like when you're going chapter to chapter, you have to be very specific about, okay, these two characters are near each other for supports and all that kind of stuff. And with stuff like Sacred Stones, it's like, oh, well, if you want to go grind to support that you didn't do yet, it's less of a hassle. You can go like Tower of Volney or something like that and kind of work on things elsewhere. Maybe a skirmish on the world map. You don't have to be so concerned about, in this chapter, I need to get X, Y, and Z accomplished and do this, this, and that. It's like you can kind of breathe better, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know, that's just my kind of classic favorite, I guess. I like them all, though. I really do. Sacred Stones is just Gaiden remade. Yeah, it's very much the spiritual successor to Gaiden. So that's why I like Echoes so much, too, actually. Stevie, you MF casual. What can I say? I'm not going to lie to you. I like freedom. I like being free. What's a hard Fire Emblem game? Thracia. You're going to have to emulate that one, though. And I do not condone that. Even though you can't even get it here in the West anyway to buy it legally, so. Because we never got it. But, you know. There is a brand new Thracia patch that came out, so you can appreciate that, all the hard work that went into that folks did. At some point, I need to play that one myself. I'm so glad that so many Echoes things are returning in Three Houses. Yeah, me too. We sick of this music? What do we think? I'm probably going to go for about 8 more minutes, guys. We'll cap it off right at 2 p.m. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, we've been doing this one for a long time. We'll do some Sacred Stones for now. Why not? This guy, I thought I blocked you. This bot, dude. Goodbye. Be gone, bot. Yeah, it looks like Cavaliers will also have the ability to dismount, which is a thing from Mystery of the Emblem, Fire Emblem 3. That's super interesting. We haven't actually seen it happen yet, but yeah. That's very interesting too. So it's so funny because like there's so many old things they're kind of throwing back to and harkening back to with this as well. Keeping it classic, but also changing so much too. It's really kind of a cool remix of everything, this game. Yeah, Magical H2O. I've been kind of thinking about that too. I talked about that in one of my earlier analysis videos. It does look like the red lines when you're kind of moving your character and looking around and going to attack someone. It does look like the red lines come from the enemies that will be able to attack you to kind of give you, right there, you can see it on screen right now. It kind of gives you a thought of, I don't know if it's like actually showing you who they're probably going to target next turn, or if it's just there to give you an idea of who can hit you. Actually, that was, with Sylvain selected, it looks like they were about to target Ingrid, so it might actually be showing you who the AI is going to target next turn. That's kind of interesting. We'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, I like it. It'll give you a good idea of like if it's a bad idea to do something, because you'll see like 4 arrows coming in on your dude, so yeah. Do you feel as if this Fire Emblem was inspired by Persona's slice of life gameplay? There's definitely a lot about this one that seems very Persona-esque. I don't know for sure if it was, but it's very interesting. You can see with Japanese game developers, they always have like a motif for like the stuff that they're working on, right? Like the Pokemon developers will take a trip somewhere and like that becomes the next game that they're working on, right? Or they go there for research purposes and they just influence that game and just inject so much of that culture into the game. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like some of the Three Houses developers in Intelligent Systems are like huge Persona fans or something and then started wanting to put some of that content into Fire Emblem, because there's a lot about this game that seems very Persona-like for sure. People talking about the time skip. Do we know how many item slots each unit has? Back in the second trailer, it looked like at least 6. but there was extra space. It was a question more of what, like, would there be any extra leftover space? Because, you know, sometimes they do that with like HUDs and UI and stuff. Sometimes you can only have 3 items or whatever, but there's extra space there. You could technically have more visually. I think it was like at least 6, but I don't know for sure. Things could have changed by now. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? I hope you're hyped. This was really, really cool. We got a lot of nice little tidbits here and there of good stuff. Good confirmation of things that we were wondering about. Makes the game look even better. Better than ever. N7 Rage says, is it me or did they spoil a lot of things? The sword new form, a 5-year time skip, and it seems one of the students becomes an enemy. How do you feel about it? You talking about Dimitri? They definitely... I can't argue that it wouldn't have been cool to find out about the time skip in the game without them having showed it in this trailer. That would have been so mind-blowing while you're playing the game to just find out like halfway through the game that there's a 5-year time gap and everything changes. That would have been great. But unfortunately, that particular thing was a part of the leaks that we got, and a lot of people did look into the leaks, so they wouldn't really be surprised anyway, so I can't really say that like that was a bad idea or anything. Dimitri, I don't know if Dimitri's evil. We're definitely learning a lot of little tidbits here and there about Byleth, his origins, how he seems to be connected to like Nemesis, if Nemesis is the Liberation King from the past. Stuff like that. Like, we know a lot of little details here and there, but what's cool is we still kind of need to see how they sort of all end up fitting together in this game. So, I like it. I like what we got. They started off with a very slow feed of information, you know, like nothing for so long. Now it's been kind of a pretty steady drip feed, and it probably will continue to be a bit until the game's release a month and 10 days from now. I am getting hungry, so we're going to wrap it up in about 2 minutes here. I might answer another question or two, but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great time with this. I'll try to stream more in the future. It's a little hard. I honestly just need better internet. That's why this is only streaming in 720p. It kind of triggers me. I don't like that. I'm a quality junkie, so I don't like having like decreased quality stuff, and I don't like having issues when I start to stream. But that's I guess my bad for trying to upload a video at the same time. So that video is going to be a little later than I thought, because I was hoping to have it out by now, to be honest. But yeah, so I'll try to stream more in the future. I just maybe should look into getting a better internet package or something if I can. The problem is that this area that I'm in is a Comcast monopoly, and A, I hate Comcast, and B, I don't know like how much better their stuff actually is, because we don't have Google Fiber or anything here, I don't think. So, which house am I doing? I think I'm really going to go with Blue Lions, and then maybe I'll grab some of my favorites from other houses like that, since we can do that. So that would satisfy me a lot, I think. I really like Hilda's design. I like... Here's another bot to ban. Hide user. Report. Get Shrek. Sorry. But no spammy on my streamy. Anyway, yeah. Blue Lions, for some reason, just really speak to me, and I'm really curious to see what happens with Dimitri. That kind of messes him up so bad after the five-year time skip. Really interesting. That blew me away in that trailer yesterday. I just did not expect that whatsoever. Do you think Nintendo will release a Fire Emblem collection for the 30th anniversary next year? They've done anniversary stuff before. They had the anniversary concert, so I could see them doing something, but I don't know about an anniversary collection. That'd be really cool. I would probably have to get that, to be honest. Bon asks, is that video part 4 of Anime North? No, the video coming out today is supposed to come out today. If I can get it out in time, it might come out too late. We'll see what happens. It's a full breakdown and trailer analysis of yesterday's trailer. I stayed up very late doing that video, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. Then after I do that, maybe tomorrow I'll get to work on making sure the 4th vlog is ready to go out too. But I have another video scheduled for tomorrow, actually, as well. This is going to be a full week of content for me, guys. This is good in that sense, but also bad because I have not been sleeping enough. So, Stevie, did you catch Flane? Who's Flane? I guess I did not. Are there pre-order bonuses? Thanks for answering questions. There are. We did see that in, I think it was the Canadian one. They were offering something like a map of Fodlan or something like that. You can go on my Twitter and look back a couple days. I don't know what GameStop is doing in the US, if it's a poster or something like that. I can't remember if they tweeted. If they tweeted, then it was a long time ago. We haven't really seen anything since then. But I think at least one of my pre-orders is through GameStop, so hopefully I'll be able to snag whatever they do. They usually do something. For Echoes, they did, you can't really see it, but they had this metallic-y kind of poster thing that I have way back behind my little Fire Emblem collection back there. It was cool. Do you think they'll add weapon buffs in this game? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean like Fates, where it actually like debuffed you for using, or it lowered your stats for using stuff? I do think that buffs and debuffs have been confirmed coming back. It looks like the ninja class line is not, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays into stuff. Maybe it'll be combat arts that debuff enemies or something like that. But yeah, I don't know specifically what you're asking. GameStop is giving out pins, is that what it is? That would be really cool, because I was kind of upset that we weren't getting pins as part of the US special edition. I would love to snag some pins. Actually, I was really excited because one of my fans and one of my server moderators, Uvaria, actually sent me the keychains for Fates, because I never managed to get them as part of the pre-order bonus for GameStop or whatever it was. So thanks to Uvaria. Really, really cool. I don't even want to like open them out of these bags though, to be honest. It's a cool relic. Very cool little piece to have. And that collection back there is growing. So thank you. Did I enjoy Fire Emblem Fates? I gotta be honest with you, I need to actually finish Fire Emblem Fates before I can give you a real opinion of Fates. I am like pretty much done with Birthright. I think I was at the very end of Birthright when I kind of stopped. I was like grinding something for some reason, like trying to work on Kagero or something, I think, because I love Kagero. Conquest I started as a Let's Play on this channel, actually, a very, very long time ago, in the first year of doing this channel in 2016. And I don't know, I have a hard time keeping up with Let's Plays because I end up like putting in too much effort into them to try to make them perfect, cut out every little like pause and gap and all that kind of stuff, and it ends up being like even more work because they're like usually like 30-minute segments. It ends up being like even more work than some of my normal content, and they get like not as many views because, you know, Let's Plays are, you know, it's a very specific audience that wants to go see a Let's Play, and that's kind of diminished over the past couple years on YouTube. So I was doing that, but then eventually I just kind of fell off of it and I never went back to Conquest. I know Conquest is amazing, at least gameplay-wise, so I definitely would be really excited to try Conquest, to actually try Conquest. So at some point I'll do that. I know Revelation's supposed to be kind of a little bit of a mess, but I would be interested in checking it out. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you had a great time today. We had a lot of people in here, so thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you learned something. I hope that looking through the trailer was helpful to you. I might upload just a snippet or chunk of this on the channel to kind of give my thoughts, because I don't really know that I want to spend the rest of today like editing together a full video about every little thing that we now know, considering I didn't really sleep too much last night. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope that you'll stay tuned for future stuff. I definitely want to stream a little bit more often. I would like to have better internet for when I do this so that it's a bit better of a stream at the end of the day. But we'll see. I'll do my best. I'll try. A lot more content on the way. If you're stoked for the vlogs, it's going to be more of that. We're about halfway through the Anime North vlogs. There's still quite a bit more that has to happen with those, but I'll be working on those. And I'll also be doubling back and covering more Three Houses stuff that I have not talked about on my channel yet. Maybe I'll even do... No, I said I wouldn't do it. It would be interesting to talk about what has come true from the leaks in a video, but I don't know that I want to just straight up spoil people with the full leak at all. People can look it up if they want to find it. I don't really want to do that. I'd rather have people be excited when the game comes out and not know everything, so to speak. So, yeah. But yeah, there's definitely going to be more Three Houses content coming. I've also got some other side content that you'll see at one point or another. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm going to sign off here. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.